Hello everybody and welcome. Today we have two games for you as usual. First is a second round FA Cup tie with the prize of a possible chance of playing somebody big in round 3, and it's a top of the table clash in League One. Hello, it's a very warm welcome to episode number 44 of To Be a Legend, FM 26 style. We started the series managing Radcliffe, and then having got them to the Football League, we were poached by Bolton Wanderers to save them from relegation in League One. And this is our story. My name's Mark, and on today's episode, we have an FA Cup second round tie against Gillingham at the Preston Stadium as we try and get to the third round of the FA Cup, a chance to play possibly one of the big boys, or we might play somebody a bit smaller and get a chance of a bit of an FA Cup run. Who knows? We will find out in due course. And then it is a top of the table clash against League One. In League One. Match day 21 as we face Preston North End, currently in second place in League One, and also a chance to pull ourselves clear of the relegation zone. As you will remember, last time you were with us, it was a 3-0 win against Crewe, a 2-1 win against Leyton Orient. We have gone on while you were away and played Colchester, beat them 4-1 at the Toughsheet Community Stadium. Morley from the penalty spots, Cisse, McAtee and Dagris Cogley all in the first half, 4-0 at half time. They got a consolation on 78 minutes. Neve the scorer in that one. We had 62% of the possession, 26 shots, 11 on target, 2.83. They had 14 shots, 8 on target, 1.15. And that is how we got through that one. How does that leave us looking in the table? I don't think we can click on there. Just to mention, we are playing with the latest version of FM 26. Was updated yesterday at the point of recording, and I've noticed a few little strange things happening already. Say no more. Some of the things that they fixed from previous things that had gone wrong seem to have crept back for some unknown reason. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Well, they've got two different teams and they're working on different versions. You would have thought they fix it, they work on that version, it's not going to break again unless they do something that breaks it, of course. But FM 26 has been a bit of a minefield. Let's hope if we get FM 27 that it's a far superior game. I don't think there's anything wrong with the game, don't get me wrong. I think there's lots of bugs still floating around in it and they need to fix. Hopefully a lot when FM 27 comes out, it will come out. I'm not saying there won't be any bugs because there's always a few, but hopefully things will have fixed themselves. What were we trying to do? Sorry, that's my thing telling me that I've got a delivery coming. The table is what we're trying to look at. Huddersfield have gone top. They and Preston have played 21 games. Huddersfield on top on 44 points. Preston, as you will see, and it's probably a good time to actually meet them. Their form's gone a little bit wonky. They've only won 2 of their last 5, lost 1 and drawn the other 2. So it's probably is a good time to actually meet them. And they are at the top of the table. Then they have a 5-point gap over Burton Albion in 3rd place, Doncaster 4th, Wycombe in 5th, Stockport County in 6th, the last of the playoff places, and down the other end of the table by virtue of that win against Colchester. As you'll see, we've won the last 4 on the trot now. You will see that we are now 4 points clear of that drop zone. Stevenage in the last place in that drop zone. The other thing to mention is we have at least one game over two of the teams in that drop zone and 2 games in hand over 2 of them, Stevenage and Blackpool being those 2. So if we were to win that game in hand, we would be on 27 points. We'd be in amongst this lot and effectively 7 points clear of the relegation zone. So we are building a gap between us and the relegation zone. We don't want a poor result today that could push us back down there. That is for sure. Right, let's get on with it. Oh, I do have one other thing to tell you. Nearly forgot. In my urgency to tell you about the update, we do have an incoming as well, transfer-wise. Transfer history. Thank you very much. Do I need to resort this again? Or has it stayed? No, it stayed. Sam Mather, I think he was in on trial. We may have looked at him last time. He has joined us now. He's a midfield central, attacking midfield at left and centre. So he can play on that left side. Can play on the right, to be fair. But can play mainly on those 2 rights. Can also play in midfield as well. And as a striker, if we desperately need him. He has come in... originally from Manchester United, went on loan at Rochdale, and then was at Tranmere on loan, Wimbledon on loan, Dundee on loan. Came to us. He was released from Manchester United. Came to us on trial, and it was obvious, I think, that he scored a few goals for the under-21s, and I thought, right, let's have him in. So Sam Mather is our latest addition. Whether he gets any game time today will be another matter. So let's go to the game. It's an FA Cup second round. It's against Gillingham. And here is the team that faces Gillingham in this FA Cup second round. A bit of rotation going on today, as you will see. Broom is in goal, giving Collins a rest. Taylor and Johnson are the defensive duo. Conway and Forrester play as the wing-backs, with Simons as the defensive midfielder. Just in front of him in central midfield is Walsh, and then Mather making his debut out on the left wing with McAtee on the right. Gale plays as the number 10 behind Dalby today, who gets the nod to lead the attack. And with 9 substitutes on the bench for today's FA Cup, it looks like this. It's Collins, Dacre Cogley, Lockyer, Scanlon, Lewis, Morley, Atete, Erhon and Cisse. And here we are at the Priestfield Stadium for this FA Cup match. They're playing a 5-2-1-2 today, making 5 changes from the side that lost to Peterborough in the Virtue Trophy by 5 goals to 2. They're currently in League 2, 14th in the table on 28 points. And they get us underway, playing in a lighter blue kit today. And that ball, long ball forward. In fact, I quite like their kit looking at it from a distance here. As they try and pump one forward, and we've let him get to it. Malcolm is on the ball. Ogie crosses this one in. Ooh, that rattled the crossbar. And we've cleared it upfield. Dolby tries to head it out, but it hasn't gone out. Stays in, and danger carries on. Andrews, Mackenzie, Gillingham looking to do a bit of giant killing, and we need to prevent them from doing that. Rathbone goes out wide to Ogie. Ogie crosses this in, and they've scored. Josh Andrews, the scorer. It's been coming, and we've not been good enough. And nobody out there marking Ogie. I'm not sure why. I need to assign somebody out there. I think it was Forrester. And tried that just now, and it didn't come off, but it came off that time. Well, I've not been in this game at all so far this first half. I think we've had one shot. And they've had about 7. That one over the top, headed back to Broom in goal. And looks like he's going to launch a long one. I never like these long ones. But Dalby is there. Hits it down to Gale. Mather cross it in for Dalby. Dalby gets the equaliser. And on 23 minutes, we are level. Dalby heads it down to Gale. Gale to Mather. And Mather, first time we've really seen him doing anything. Lovely ball into Dalby. Dalby just hits it on the volley with his left boot. And it's 1-1. Taylor cutting that one out. Mather winning the ball back. But unfortunately punted upfield and nobody there. And they will come again. Cut out. Not winning these second balls at the minute. Sort of half a yard behind everybody else. That one over the top. And they've got a second. Jovan Malcolm, the scorer. And as we thought we got ourselves back in it, they have. Going to berate the team. And does feel like we need to do something else. Malcolm chested that down and Broom was left sprawling. Looking to get a foothold back in this. Mather, Walsh out to Forrester. Forrester had to work hard for that, but it's a poor ball. Maybe he's been the weak link on that left side today. Right side, should I say. Mather lost the ball as well. And Andrews is in again. This time, flashes it wide. As we head into half-time. 3 minutes added on at the end of that. And we've been the poor boys in this game so far. 51% of the possession. We've had 8 shots, 2 on target, 0.65. They've had 49%. They've had 10 shots, 5 on target, 1.29, and scored 2 goals. We need to be better in the second half. I think we might be making at least 1 change at half-time. And Dalby gets the second half underway. We've made that 1 change at half-time. Forrester, who was playing poorly on the right, has come off for Dacre Cogley. And we get a highlight almost straight away. Conway to Simons. Conway. Team have had a good talking to at half-time. Simons, Conway. Simons! Didn't curl it. Went for that top corner. Didn't get there. They have a throw on that far side. Cisse on for McAtee, who wasn't doing anything on the right side. So we had a real problem on the right side as it was. Cut out by Taylor in midfield. Puts this one out wide to Cisse. Cisse crosses it in. And it's on a plate for Dalby to get his second of the game. And we are back level. Just a couple of tweaks. Need to do anything major. But that's what we've been missing. Somebody out on that right side to give it a lot of thing. Puts it on a plate for Dalby. Dalby just puts his foot out and tucks it in the back of the net. We're back level. Gale. Cisse fires one across looking for Mather. Mather crosses in. Didn't get the shot away on target and they've got a counter on. But Simons has won that ball. Dacre Cogley, Walsh, Mather round his man. And it's Thierry Gale putting it away. And all of a sudden, from being 2-1 down and looking very lacklustre and very behind, which we were in the game, we've suddenly turned it around. And substitutions and tactical changes have made a difference through the legs of the defender, and Holtham couldn't get there. Holtham. I think we can probably go back to positive now, which we will. Malcolm. Cross this into space. Malcolm's there. It's into the area. Oof, got off the woodwork. And we've got away with one there. Mather comes away with the ball. Mather. Gale. Dalby. Gale to Conway. Well, we've truly turned this on its head. Conway on the ball. Conway gets tackled and robbed. But Simons is there. Morley, who's come on for Walsh. And that headed back to the goalkeeper. Holton will fire this one forward. Taylor underneath it to Gale. He's winning a lot of those defensive headers. Morley goes out wide to Mather, who's had a good debut. As we enter the last 5 minutes of this match. And the ball back through to Broom. We've made all our changes now. Broom on the ball. Fires this one long. Malcolm, Masterson. We need to be on our guard. You don't want to give anything away here. Webster into the area. And it's gone for a corner. And we are going to balanced. Try and see this game out now as we enter the last minute. 5 added on. Conway round his man. Conway crosses this in. Another goal now for us would finish it off. Morley, Cisse, Dacry Cogley, Erhon, Scanlon, Gale, Dalby, freeze hat-trick. And, well, he's taken the chance and he's grabbed it with both hands. Through to Dalby, teed himself up, and even under pressure, tucks it into the bottom corner. And at 4-2, we are through to the third round. As we run the clock down, as you'll see from the stats, we've done a lot in this second half. After a poor first half, it's all over. And, well, we've turned it completely around. Had an absolutely stonking second half. And, well, as you'll see from down here, we didn't have a lot of that first half. And then second half, we've really sort of just gone out there and pummeled them. 58% of the possession, 22 shots, of which 10 have been on target. In fact, they didn't have a shot on target in the second half because I think, if my memory serves me right, they had 10 shots, 5 on target, which means they only have 4 shots all of the second half. We had 2.85 on the XG against their 2.21, and lots of players in the green, in fact, dark green. Dalby picking up a hat-trick, gets man of the match. And there we are. That is the result. But just want to take a second out from playing the game as such. But there's a lot of conjecture about whether, you know, what you say to the team at halftime, what you do, and so on, actually has something to do with it. I think it does. And here's a news item that says George Johnson heaped praise on manager Mark just offside after Bolton Wanderers pulled off a thrilling 4-2 win over Gillingham. Johnson claimed that it was just offside's words at half-time that inspired the team to overturn the deficit and emerge victorious at the final whistle. Basically, what I said to him was, you're not playing well, buck your ideas up and go out there and win the game. Simple, simple, simple. Right, 3 days down to the top of the table. I say top of the table clash. We're not at the top of the table, but against the top of the table side, Preston North End in the second, who are second in the Sky Bet League One. We'll come back just ahead of that with any team news. Well, you come back and join me with the news that we have drawn Colchester United in the third round of the FA Cup. 8th of January is the date. I can tell you, of course, we beat them offline in between last episode and this episode, and beat them 4-1. Similar result would be very nice. It was at home, and we are at home again for the third round tie. So that's all looking very, very good. Preston, then, it is for our second game of the episode. 1-0 winners anyway, and a 1-1 draw against them at the Deepdale last time out. So at home, we are fairly good against them. We are at home against them today. Can we get a similar result? I hope so. Well, I was being a bit silly, wasn't I? I've realised why we played them 4 times last season. It's because we played them in the playoff semi-final, beaten them in the semi-final, and then I think it was 2-1 in the semi-final. Then we lost to Plymouth in the final of the playoffs last season. So let's hope we can get a result against them at the Toughsheet again today. It's Collins in goal, back in goal. Taylor and Lockyer coming in for Johnson on the right-hand side of the two-man central defence. Scanlon is back in on the left side, the left wing back position. Dacre Cogley back on the right wing back position. Forrester drops out of the squad altogether. Erhon back as the defensive midfielder. Walsh continues as the central midfielder with Lewis back out on the left wing. Cisse on the right wing. Mather plays as the number 10 behind Dolby, who gets a second opportunity in a row, having played so well in the FA Cup. We thought we'd give him another chance. He now needs to show that in the league as well. The bench then looks like this. It's Broom, Friel, Johnson, Gale, Morley, Warner and Atete. And here we are back at the Toughsheet and playing our familiar formation. Preston are playing in yellow tonight. They are playing a 4-4-2. Although it looks like a 4-3-3 on the diagram. 9 changes from the side that beat Rochdale in extra time in the FA Cup. And they are currently second in the table on 43 points. And they get the game underway. Raining at the Toughsheet. Small out wide. Cisse wins the ball. Walsh, Mather, Erhunt out to Dacre Cogley. Dacre Cogley goes round his man into the area, cross it in. Goalkeeper goes down, but Erhunt, Scanlon round his man, pulls it in, and I presume that was Dolby, didn't meet the ball that was crossed over. They have a throw-in deep in our corner here. Lyons and Whiteman working together. Lyons having a run, and his shot was off target. Well, we're yet to hit the target in this first half. Scanlon, and the ball's given away to Frockier. But Lewis tracking back. Erhunt, Walsh, Lewis along the line to Scanlon, Mather, Lewis, Scanlon, who seem to have swapped places. It's crossed in on the head of Sam Dolby, and he continues what he did in the first game, in the last game. Ball in from Scanlon. And Dolby gets there. Had to stretch for it, but he got there and puts it past Iverson. And straight from the restart, Mullins getting us underway again. As we enter the last 5 minutes, Mullins crosses in. It's headed away by Walsh and into touch. Danger ensues. Lyons. Whiteman, and he's put it away, and they've equalised from the restart. We're going to berate for that because it was almost like we switched off. Whiteman just allowed a run and Collins beaten. Two minutes added on at the end of this first half. And there it is. They've had 63% of the possession. We need to wrestle that back in the second half. Otherwise, it's been pretty even Stevens. We hadn't had any shots on target until we scored that goal. And you'll see, we've not really had a lot of that first half. Need to be better in the second half. 7 shots, 2 on target, 0.82. They've had 8 shots, 3 on target, 0.29. I think we've been lucky. And Derby gets us underway for the second half. Thackeray Cogley finds Walsh. Lumped forward by Walsh, I think it was. I think what I have to remember is Preston are second. We are down at the bottom end. A draw would be a fine result, given the current status. Cogley gets rid of that. Looking for Lewis. And we're in trouble now. It's come back off the woodwork. Has saved us. And it's gone for a throw. Cullen. Fukia. Lyons. Cut out by Scanlon, who comes forward. He's got Lewis in front of him. Scanlon now crosses this ball in, looking for Dalby. Couldn't. Defender was well defended. Cogley. Cisse puts it away. And we take a lead again on 62 minutes. Well defended. Cogley couldn't quite get there. Thackeray Cogley on it. Cisse was waiting, and Cisse puts it away, and it's 2-1. And they have a corner. Whiteman with the corner. This one chipped in. Ooh, that wasn't far off. Five minutes of time added on at the end of this second half. And we're just hanging on in there. I think it looks like it's going to be a 2-1 win. It is. And we've beaten the second place side. Wrestled back some of that possession. Still didn't have a lot of that second half. And we've come out on top against the odds, really. 16 shots and 8 on target for both sides. So pretty even Stevens. We just had a slightly better XG than them, and only 40% of the possession. But it is the win nonetheless against second place Preston. And so to the day's results, that 2-1 win against Preston has been a very, very helpful. Chesterfield beating Bolton by a goal to nil. Again, top of the table, fifth playing third. Barnsley beat Leyton Orient by a goal to nil, and Reading have beaten Swindon Town by 2 goals to nil. Swindon Town on the bottom, which means the table looks like this. Still around the games on Wednesday. These are Tuesday's games, of course. Wednesday still will be. We've moved up to 15th place on 27 points now, top of the pile on 27 points. And we still have a game in hand over Leyton Orient. We are 7 points clear of that drop zone now, and a game in hand. 5 straight wins, so we can start to climb that table. We're only 3 points off of 10th place. And by my reckoning, where are we? 33. We're only 6 points adrift of Reading in 6th place. That has got to be our next target. And to be down in that drop zone and then all the way up there is going to be flat. Can we end up in the playoffs or even getting promoted automatically? Who knows? We will see. It's a long way to go. And we've got a lot of ground to make up. We'll just keep plodding away. So a good first episode. Good episode. Colchester just above us have a game in hand. They play on Wednesday, so that gap could be a bit bigger, albeit we will be 2 points behind Wigan and Lincoln City, having played same amount of games. So we need to be hoping that results go in our favour as well. Right, we are going to come back. And the only reason I say we're going to come straight back is because when you look at the club, where are we? Club vision and supporters, I think it is. One of the objectives is to beat Wigan. If we come up against Wigan, we have to beat them. So that is almost like a foredrawn conclusion that's what we've got to do. So we're going to come back and see whether we can. We're going to come back for Wigan and Leyton Orient. We'll play a couple of games offline then, and we will get to the transfer window. Probably Cambridge and Barnsley. in the episode after that, and then we'll come back for Colchester in the FA Cup third round and Burton Albion. So that's all coming up in due course, and I hope that you will be able to join me for that. Having said all of that, of course, if you have enjoyed today's episode, then don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of To Be a Legend as they are released. And new episodes of To Be a Legend released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. The best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on the channel, keeps you up to date with our other series, of course, the Rothusen Redemption as well, is to follow me on X at Just Offside 2. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 45. It should be out on Monday. Until then, have a great week. Bye-bye.